Welcome to PaleriderTV. Got a news article this morning from Landline Media. The Ship It Act, HR471. Let's go over this article. A bill introduced in the House aims to improve the nation's supply chain by providing recruiting and retention incentives for truck drivers and increasing shipping capacity. All right. Got Washington digging into us again. On Tuesday, January 24th, Representatives Dusty Johnson, Republican out of South Dakota, and Jim Costa, Democrat out of California, introduced the Safer Highways and Increased Performance with Ship for Interstate Trucking Act, which right there on the screen you see Ship It Act. Washington and their acronyms. It's HR 471, which is there on the screen also. If you want to research that, check it out. All right, the Ship It Act would, all right, here we go, allow states to issue special permits for overweight vehicles and loads during emergencies, allow truck drivers to apply for Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act grants. Has anybody ever heard of that grant before? I haven't. Attempt to recruit truck drivers to the industry through targeted and temporary tax credits. Interesting. All right, here we go again. Streamline the CDL process, making it easier for states and third parties to administer CDL tests. I wonder what all that involves. Expand access. This one's crazy here. I don't know about this one. Expand access to truck parking and rest areas for commercial drivers. That's going to take a lot, I think. Under the bill, current truck drivers who logged at least 1,900 hours in a year could be eligible for a $7,500 tax credit depending on their income. 1,900 hours in a year. We do that in reverse, I think. New truck drivers Okay, new truck drivers could be eligible for a $10,000 tax credit. What the heck? Americans experienced a slew of freight disruptions during and after the pandemic, Johnson said in a news release. Last year, we addressed ocean shipping reform, and it's clear that updates are needed for other parts of the supply chain. Well, yeah, he's got a point there. The Ship It Act will bridge gaps, keep costs down for consumers, and make it easier for shippers to move products across the U.S. The Shippers Coalition, the International Dairy Food Association, the National Milk Producers, Consumer Brands Association, and heavy duty suspension manufacturer Hendrickson expressed support for the bill. The Ship It Act is common sense trucking reform legislation that will help dairy companies overcome many of the current supply chain challenges facing our industry. International Dairy Foods Association President Michael Dykes said the legislation would bring the U.S. supply chain into the 21st century to meet the needs of shippers, reduce regulatory burdens that cost shippers millions of dollars a year, create good paying jobs, and support the ambitious sustainability goals of dairy business. Well, there. Okay. Costa said the bill is necessary to ensure that the nation's supply chain is running smoothly. Disruptions in our trucking supply chain continue to drive up costs and create uncertainty for American consumers and producers, Costa said. We need to recruit, train, and retain truck drivers to keep our supply chain moving while also updating best practices to improve trucking to fit our modern economy. That is why we introduced this bipartisan legislation to strengthen the workforce and make it easier to move products across the country. The owner op- okay, hold on a second. Excuse me. Let me start that again. The owner operator independent drivers association appreciates some aspects of the bill, but believes it needs some tweaking. Here is OOIDA's response, and I kind of favor their response. We appreciate Representative Johnson's longtime support of expanding truck parking capacity and are glad that he and Representative Costa recognize the importance of addressing the truck parking shortage to help keep drivers safe and improve supply chain performance. OYDA Executive Vice President Louis Pugh said, however, here we go. The bill misses the mark by failing to fix the underlying causes of the driver retention problem in trucking, including a lack of adequate compensation from carriers and a failure of shippers and carriers to value any of a trucker's time. Exactly. There you go. That's going to have to be tweaked into this bill somehow, some way. We look forward to working with Johnson and Costa to advance policies that support truckers and ultimately improve the movement of goods throughout the supply chain instead of policies that subsidize big business like shippers and carriers and continue churning drivers in and out of trucking. Definitely, driver retainment is a big issue in the industry. It always has. Companies, carriers, mega carriers, they're not uh, much on retention. They'll just hire somebody else the next week. Driver turnover is a big issue. Compensation for sitting as shippers and receivers is a big issue. And it just, you can't keep drivers around. They're going to sit around making no money, not making any money. They need to work on that. So that should be part of it. I agree with OIDA on that statement there. So, well, that's it for HR 471, the Ship It Act. Check it out if you want to research it yourself. Check out HR 471. Go to Landline Media. Check out the article. See it for yourself. And let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this situation. So I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.